Alright, check this out. We now have the Whirlwind Rogue. This is a brand new skill, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how it kind of behaves and some awesome interactions with the brand new skill in Season 6 and Vessel Page for the expansion, Dance of Knives. So it is a channeled skill, so you're going to have to hold it down in order for it to continuously go. And you are going to be getting a lot of bonuses because it is an agility skill, plus it is a cutthroat skill, and the thing that I was very surprised by, it is imbuable. So let's go and show off how busted this skill is right now. And the reason why I think it's pretty busted is I can activate my poison imbue, and we will permanently have poison imbue until I stop. Now, we do also have Tyraels right now, and this is a nightmare dungeon. They don't really have numbers anymore, which is very interesting. I can spam this, and I can get more of the things to generate, but I won't get that infinite poison imbue, and I kind of like having this infinite poison imbue. We're going to go ahead and do this full dungeon run, and then we'll talk a little bit about this build. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be a build guide, as I don't really know what the best variant is. We're not even close to fully min-maxed here, but it's just kind of something very fun. You guys can see it's basically a spinning, like, ballerina. It almost reminds me of, like, those old kung fu movies where they would, like, fly in the air, because their character doesn't even look like they're touching the ground. We're just kind of flying. It's very, very awesome. Now, is this the most meta skill? You know, I'm not sure yet. There's a lot of min-maxing to do. I was playing Pen Shot, and I personally enjoy that the most just because it has insane clear speed. But how it works, you'll see that there are these chargers that will build up, but if I move a certain distance, it will also give me chargers. So getting enough movement speed in this build will basically allow you to continuously go. Whether this build is going to be a cold imbue variant or a poison imbue variant, I'm not sure what's going to be the most meta, but you can see I have infinite poison daggers just kind of shooting out, and we also have one aspect for it, which I'll show you guys kind of how it all works, but we'll go ahead and do the brand new Nightmare Dungeons, as there's a different reward at the very end of these. You will see that something is missing, but the thing that we are getting in the new Nightmare Dungeons is going to be the crafting material. So you can see we're ticking for basically it's 3 mil DPS, because I'm seeing about like 1.5-ish mil. But the daggers can pierce. It is a chance. This currently is set up to be an Undario's build, but we can change that later if we want to. I'm not actually sure if attack speed matters, but look at how many daggers are getting shot out. It's quite a bit. So you can see we can now get the crafting materials from the pit. Where's the last boss? Or elite here, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next area, and then we'll go over kind of how the skill can work. And it is not actually a core skill. I'm kind of scaling mostly into Undario's right now, because leveling up all the glyphs, it's going to take a long time to get to 100. But just some earlier gameplay. Oh, there's like 5 mil ticks over there. It's not too bad at all. You see all the damage. Very, very decent. Oh, taking some big damage. Alright, so now we have the next area. And we're just going to go along. We'll go grab the shrine. Just have to destroy these corpse piles. And ideally, we get more monsters around us, because then there's more Undario's activated. And that will kind of help out. Let's go ahead and activate our poison imbue, and look at all of the daggers. They're all poison imbued, which is awesome. As far as the skill goes, I like it because you can use momentum, and I think momentum is the best passive, like, in the entire game. It's not even just like best rogue passive. The thing is just absolutely ridiculous. Things have definitely gotten a lot more tanky, and we are still in the process of getting our 85 Paragon points is what we're missing here. So we are missing a big source of DPS. Let's go straight to the last corpse pile, finish it off, and then you guys can see the differences at the very end in the Nightmare Dungeons for Season 6 and Vessel Patriot. But as far as the skill goes, because I was getting this asked quite frequently, it was okay for leveling. Like, it's not bad at all, because you don't have a resource, and it's relatively easy to maintain. I didn't really have too many issues maintaining it. Now, it may drop off if you're not moving that much. Like, if I just do this, you'll see that the stacks will drop off quite fast. You do need to move around with it, so big, wide circles is what you want to do with the skill. And the reason why is it calculates the distance, and if you're going in too small of areas, it will not give you the bonuses that you want. What is this one? Oh. Unfortunately, this is a conduit. Conduit is not very good in Diablo anymore. It used to be pretty awesome, but since they've scaled the monster's HP, it just kind of became a little bit worthless. Like, there's no point of grabbing it in a lot of circumstances, honestly. Alright. So hopefully, we'll get out of Conduit. The other way that you can actually force to get out of Conduit is to actually just go back into town. Sometimes it's actually worth it. Because, I mean, you literally do 0 damage. So go ahead and get him down. So that thing should die out to damage over time, and then the last one should be over there. But it's very cool just watching this skill go to work. Go fast, and this is the last one over here. Throw down the poison trap so we get our bonus damage to poison targets. And it is gone. Alright, so you'll notice at the very end of the Nightmare Dungeon, we got 340 Adductite, which is a decent amount, and I still need to do a lot more masterworking and stuff. Like I said, you need greater affixes to go beyond 4 out of 4, but we'll go over some of the interesting things that you could test out with, and things that I plan to actually maybe use for a build, and if you have any suggestions, would love to know them. So for starters, we're obviously using the new skill. You can also temper on, and just as a heads up, you cannot temper on 2 things unless it's a greater affix. This is 750 item power. It's basically the highest that's non-greater affix. Greater affix items will now drop with 800 in terms of the item power. So we still have a while to go for power, but a lot of people want to know, is the skill kind of good or not? So for starters, what you do want to try to temper on is chance for Dance of Knives projectiles to cast twice, so you're getting 2 of them. Now I do happen to have a perfect Fist of Fate over here where we get a massive amount of lucky hit chance. So that's going to be a nice little bonus where right now, if we go into advanced, it's kind of awkward now because one thing, just as a heads up, if you close your game and reopen it, it resets your controls. Very, very annoying. Hopefully they can fix this. But under gameplay, there is like advanced like tooltip, and what it will show is the lucky hit chance because it normally doesn't show that. So it's 41%, and it says that it launches a bunch of knives. I'm not sure the exact number of these, maybe like 4 to 5. It's really fast to count. I don't know how many times it's channeling. I don't know if attack speed actually increases like the amount of times that it will start throwing the knives. But basically, you get, I would say, maybe 4 or 5, and that's the lucky hit chance. But we do happen to have some mods with it, and one of them is every 30 meters we travel, we gain additional charge. So basically, this should give you infinite knives. And on top of that, again, if you want to run any imbuements, there are options for it. If you want to run even the Shadow Imbue, this can actually increase non-physical damage. So it could still be a benefit to actually run that, even if you're playing a poison or cold build, if you want to go that route as well, because you can get a bonus of adding maybe vulnerability. You can also generate energy if you want it. You shouldn't need it because this build doesn't require it, but you can also have a chance to stun. You could also consider running cold imbuement on it because you can get that chance to instantly freeze, or you can actually add a 40x multiplier, which is something I was considering, and then going way into crit, as right now we do not scale crit. There's one aspect that we have as well for it. So it is called Aspect of Star Shards. So it says knives from Dance of Knives have a 50% chance to shatter into 6 shards. Now, I'm not sure if this also has a lucky hit chance, but it does some sort of amount of damage. And then you can also use combo points to get additional charges. Now, I don't think that there's a point to doing that. If it increased the base damage, because you can see it's 1.1 charge, 2 point, whereas the other skills over here, if I was to, let's say, go into combo points, I think I have to spec into it in order for it to show. But you can see that these all increase the damage. So it would have been cool to see a point of actually using it, because this should mean if you are able to get the bonus damage, if you just hold it down, you'd have it the whole time until you reset, which would be quite nice for quality of life. But it is also not a core skill. There's other things that we can get in the Paragon board that are for non-core skills. There's one that you would normally run for Imbue, and you can run it in here as well. Let's see this one. Yeah, it's versatility over here. Move my face. So it grants a huge bonus, and then on top of that, it's non-basic and non-core skills get 25x damage, and you can get this up to another 10x. Obviously, you'd have to level it up to 45, and right now I'm pretty much set up for poison, so this was kind of just a quick little swap to try out the newer skill. But that pretty much covers what I wanted to cover with the new skill. If there's any other cool interactions, I would love to know. and we can maybe try it out. But right now I've got my eyes on making it more the main star of the DPS. As right now it's just Andariel's, but it does shoot out quite a bit of projectiles. And the damage over here, well, it doesn't seem high. Remember, you're getting a bunch of these knives to shoot out. In fact, they actually added another newer feature here that I want to show off real quick that you can actually see in the training ground. And then I'm going to go ahead and end it. But what would you guys do to make this skill like the main star? So obviously we can throw in Harlequin. I have a Harlequin so we can get more ranks to it. Since it isn't a core skill, we can't roll like the bonus on like let's say gloves. Usually that's where you get the bonus ranks to your core skills. But if you can get extra ranks to the skill, it could do a little bit more DPS. And when you use Poison Imbue, that is tied to the actual skill's DPS. But you can see like how many daggers come out. What's also interesting that I found out with Tyrael's with this skill will cast wherever your mouse is. So you actually have to like move your mouse with it. But like, I mean, the amount of times that you're attacking per second are quite fast. And I was actually very impressed by it, like just seeing this. And it gets even more interesting if we add, like, let's say we add elites, and then we add, let's add multiple, where is it? Multiple training dummies. Here we go. And you guys can see how much damage we can actually output with this build once we start getting things going up. And like I said, I still need a long ways to go for it, but we're hitting for a couple million. And remember, they have definitely shrunk down a lot of the numbers in Diablo to try to make things a little bit easier for readability. But I've noticed that you get way more daggers once there is targets. Again, you do want to move around. Obviously here, I'm just kind of moving back and forth, so I will drop stacks. But you saw during the actual like gameplay, it was actually pretty easy to keep up. But you can see all the daggers shooting out. So this could be very awesome to activate some sort of lucky hit chances, potentially, especially against single targets, because you're shooting out so many. And then maybe we can throw an Umber Crux in the build as well. But yeah, I'm just running this right now. Is it really good for the build? If it doesn't do lucky hit, then this is probably not very good since we don't really scale physical. But nonetheless, it is another source of damage in the build. But that's the new skill. Let me know, guys, what you think of Dance of Knives. But if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it if you're new here. Hit subscribe, turn the bell if you want to see an update and a actual more proper build guide. I'm going to test out Poison and Cold, but let me know down below what other suggestions you guys have, and I'll catch you guys in the next video with probably another newer build. We're going to be playing Necromancer next.